Welcome back to the AI interview questions series for developers. In part 4, we discussed prompt engineering, zero shot, one shot, few shot prompting, system prompts, and user prompts. In today's video, we will continue from question 33. Our focus will be on how AI applications communicate with software. We will discuss structured output, JSON responses, function calling, tools, and how an LLM can interact with external systems. These are extremely important concepts for developers building real world AI applications. What is structured output? Structured output means asking an LLM to return information in a predefined format instead of returning free form text. For example, suppose we ask an AI to extract customer information. A normal response might be the customer is Rahul, he lives in Bangalore, his phone number is 9876, anything. A human can easily understand this. But for a Java application, a structured response is much more useful. It will be in the form of JSON, where the key will be name and the value will be Rahul. Again, the next key will be city and the value will be Bangalore. Now the application knows exactly which value belongs to which field. The Java application can deserialize this JSON into a Java object and use it in business logic. So, structured output makes AI responses easier for software applications to consume. Why is JSON commonly used for structured output? Now it is commonly used because it is lightweight, human readable, and supported by almost every programming language. For example, Java can easily convert JSON into a Java object. Consider this JSON where the key is name, value is Rahul, key is age, value is 30. In Java, this can be mapped to a person class where we have two variables, string name and int age. This process is called deserialization. The advantage is that the AI response can directly become a Java object. We don't need to manually search through a paragraph and extract values using string operations. This makes our code cleaner and more reliable. How can you ask an LLM to return JSON? We can explicitly define the expected output format in the prompt. For example, prompt will be extract customer information, return only valid JSON. The JSON must contain name, email, phone. Do not include explanation, do not use markdown. This prompt clearly tells the model what we expect. However, one important point is that simply asking for JSON does not guarantee that the response will always be valid JSON. The response still needs to be validated. In production applications, we should handle the possibility of invalid or incomplete output. What is function calling? Function calling allows an LLM to request the execution of a function in our application. Imagine the user asks, what is the weather in Bangalore? The LLM itself may not have access to live weather information. Instead, our application may provide a function like getWeather that takes an argument city. The LLM understands that this function can provide the required information. It returns a structured request such as function getWeather, argument, again a JSON, and this has key as city and value as Bangalore. Our Java application receives this request. It executes the actual Java method. The result is sent back to the LLM. The LLM then generates the final response for the user. The important point is that the LLM does not directly execute the Java method. The application executes the function. Does the LLM directly execute a function? Answer is no. LLM does not directly execute our Java code. Instead, the process works like this. The developer defines the available function. The function has a name, description, and parameters. The LLM analyzes the user's request. If it determines that a function is needed, it generates a structured tool call. Our application receives that tool call, the application validates the request and executes the actual function. The result is then sent back to the LLM. So the LLM decides which function may be useful. The application controls whether and how the function is actually executed. What is the difference between function calling and structured output? Both concepts use structured data, but their purpose is different. Structured output is used when we want the AI to return data in a predictable format. For example, a JSON where key is name, value is Rahul, key is age, value is 30. Function calling is used when the AI needs to request an action from an external system. For example, a JSON in the form of where key is function, value is get weather, telling that we need the output of get weather function. And the other argument is city, the city is the key and value is Bangalore, which will be passed as an argument to get weather function. So the simple difference is structured output gives us data, function calling helps the AI interact with tools and systems. A real application may use both at the same time. A tool is an external capability that an AI application can use. For example, an AI assistant may have access to weather API, database, payment service, calculator. And suppose a user asks, what is the current balance of my account? The LLM itself should not invent the balance. Instead, it can request a tool such as get account balance, where account ID will be passed as argument. The application executes the tool and retrieves the actual information. This is how we connect an LLM to real world systems. Let's understand the complete flow. The user asks, what is the weather in Bangalore? The request goes to the LLM. LLM analyzes the request. It identifies that it needs the weather tool. It generates a structured tool call where the JSON contains name as key and get weather as the value. Then again an argument that contains a JSON where key is city and value is Bangalore. Our Java application receives the request, it finds the corresponding Java function, it executes getWeather function where the value argument will be Bangalore. The function calls the weather API. The result may be a JSON where temperature is 28, condition is cloudy. The result is sent back to the LLM. The LLM then generates the final response. The current temperature in Bangalore is 28 degrees Celsius and the weather is cloudy. This is the complete function calling flow. This is a very important production level question. Why should tool calls be validated? We should never blindly execute every tool call generated by an LLM. The LLM is probabilistic. It can misunderstand the user's request. Before executing a tool, the application should validate which function is being requested. Are the parameters valid? Does the user have permission? Is confirmation required? For example, a tool that deletes a database record should not be executed automatically just because the LLM requested it. The application should control permissions and business rules. The LLM can suggest an action. The application must decide whether that action is allowed. Let's quickly revise today's 8 questions. Structured output means returning data in a predefined format. JSON is commonly used because it is lightweight and easy to parse. We can ask an LLM to return JSON by clearly defining the expected fields and format. Function calling allows an LLM to request an action from our application. The LLM does not directly execute our Java code, and the application controls the actual execution. Structured output gives us data while function calling helps us perform actions. Tools are external capabilities that an AI application can use, and the complete flow is user request, LLM decision, tool call, Java execution, result sent back to the LLM, and finally the response is shown to the user. Today we covered questions 33 to 40. We learned how LLMs can return structured data and interact with external tools. These concepts are extremely important when building real-world AI applications. In next video, we will focus specifically on Java and Spring AI interview questions. We will discuss how Spring AI communicates with LLM, chat client, prompts, model, RAG, and how to design AI applications using Spring Boot. If you are a developer preparing for AI interviews, this next part will be especially useful. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more videos.